in the middle of the week this week. Let's start to find a comfortable seat and start to get centered. Finding our space, finding our breath, right? And dedicating our next hour to really, it's okay to be a little selfish for this hour, to us, to work on us, work on yourself, so that you can take yourself out into the world in a better way, in a better place, and share the love with the world. Gently let your eyes close, grind your sit bones down. Gently engage your core here. Find a nice tall spine, shrug your shoulders up by your ears, roll them back, open your collarbones. Crown of your head pulling up toward the sky as your sit bones ground down toward the earth. And let's open our class together with 3 ohms. Taking a deep inhale through the nose. Om. Feeling the vibration start to awaken your body, just sitting for a few moments as you start to engage your Ujjayi breath. Maybe already feeling a little bit of warmth, like tingling inside, right? And to warm up your body, your heart, your spirit. Inhaling here and exhaling. Gently let your eyes blink open, keep your sit bones grounded down. Just take a nice big full body stretch, reaching your arms up toward the sky. Maybe your palms aren't joining yet. Actually, let's not join our palms. Let's keep our arms nice and parallel, right? Reaching our fingertips up, feel your shoulder blades pulling down. Almost like the crown of your head is reaching a little higher as you pull your shoulders away from your ears. Good, and then keeping your arms as they are, just rotate your palms. Take the pinkies toward the inside here, the thumbs toward the outside. Feel some rotation all the way down by your armpit here as you continue to pull your shoulders down away from your ears. Really opening up the triceps here, opening up the shoulders, finding this rotation, right? This is like downward facing dog. We're finding these rotations in our arms without moving our shoulders too much. Inhaling here. Good, then exhale, return your palms facing each other. Now join them up overhead. You may have to bring them forward a little bit here. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, take that prayer up overhead as you bend your elbows, take the thumbs to the back of the head, and then press your head into your thumbs as your thumbs press back into your head here. Inhale, and try not to open your heart too much. I mean, I shouldn't say that, sorry, open your chest too much. You want to keep your heart always open in yoga. So take the sway out of your lower back and then really just start to find a nice reaching of the heart toward the sky as you press your thumbs into your head and your head back into your thumbs. One more breath here. Inhale, reach your hands back up overhead. Drop your left hand down next to your hip. Ground your right sit bone. Take a nice big side stretch here. Pull your left shoulder away from your ears. You reach up and over. Gazing up at your elbow. Inhaling here. Exhale, take it back up overhead, right hand comes down, switching sides, left sit bone grounds. As you, stretch your left arm up and over. Think of it like a big rainbow here, right? You're not hinging, you're arcing. One more breath here. Good, inhale, arms reach up, back over, up overhead. Just take a nice twist here, right hand comes to the outside of the left thigh. Left hand behind you, nice open shoulders here as you reach back, using the pressure of your hand into your leg to twist you a little bit further, engaging your core, feeling your sit bones grounded, the twist is coming from your rib cage up. One more breath here. Inhale back up overhead, and then switch sides. Left hand to the outside of the right thigh. Good, opening your collarbone. Twisting, gazing behind you. Stop the barking. Okay. Breathing one more breath. Inhale, hands come back up overhead. Drop them in front of you. Roll over your knees here and come into a tabletop position on your mat. Good. Bring your tabletop, just close your eyes for a second and move. Feel where you are today. Making circles with your hips. It's always like a kind of like nice to meet you to yourself every morning when we get on the mat, just to know where your body is. Taking some snake-like motions with your spine or making circles. I always like to do a lazy up dog here, right? Feel nice and heavy in the torso as you reach your chest forward. 2 more breaths here, just moving as you'd like. Good, and then let's meet in a tabletop position here. Hands are, fingers are spread nice and wide. Shoulders right on top of your wrists, knees are right under your hips here. And then let's take a few cat-cows to warm up. So inhale, arch your spine, really pull your palms back on the mat. They're not gonna move, but feel that traction and use that to pull your heart through your shoulders as you gaze forward and then up. And then exhale, press into the mat to round your spine from the sacrum all the way to the nape of your neck. Drop your chin, curl it in. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. One more breath here, arch it. And then round it out. Press back into a child's pose. Keep your palms pressing into the mat. Nice active arms here. Your elbows are off the mat. Sway your hips side to side. Good, and then flip your palms open. Again, pinkies to the inside, similar to what we just did when we were sitting down. So roll over your pinkies, thumbs are rolling to the outside. Now your arms are down on the mat, your forearms are down on the mat. And then pull your forearms back towards you, like back towards your knees. Feel a nice stretch in your triceps there. Keep trying to pull your thumbs all the way over, right? All the way so that the backs of your hands are on the mat. They probably won't make it there, but get that sensation. Keep it nice and active here. Breathing in and breathing out. One more time. Breathe it in, hold it. I know this is hard. And then as you exhale, place your palms back on the mat. Tuck your toes under here. Keep your knees bent and just hover your knees for a moment here, like a hovering tabletop. Good. Feel your core engage. Think about squeezing an imaginary block between your thighs here, really activating your core, pulling your core up towards your belly button, up towards your spine here. Breathe it here for one more breath. Good. And then as you inhale, start to send your hips back towards your heels and then up toward the sky. Coming into your first downward facing dog. We're just going to hold it here for a breath. We're going to move into some spinal rolls. So come high on your toes from your downward facing dog. Tuck your tailbone under, pull your belly button toward the spine, round your shoulders as you pull yourself into plank. And just as your shoulders come forward of your wrist, start to let your hips drop, coming into a tuck-toed upward facing dog. And then as you exhale, bend your knees, send your hips back to your heels, push it back to downward facing dog. Inhale, high on the heels, just 2 more times like that, rolling forward, really rounding yourself away from the ground as you pull forward into plank. As you exhale, drop your hips, lift your heart. Exhale, push it back, downward facing dog. One more time like that, high on the toes, find lots of space here, press into the palms. Push your torso away from the mat as you pull into your plank pose here. Good, drop your hips as you inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, press it back, seat to heels, downward facing dog. Pedaling it out here, finding your downward facing dog. Shake your head, yes and no. Really get that, helps you release your neck, right? Get the sensation of your head just releasing. No tension in the neck, no holding, it's hard. Breathing in, breathing out. Take a moment here to lift your fingers up off the mat, just pressing your palms into the mat, right? Feel all 4 corners of that foundation and feel the side body length when you do that. Breathe here. Good, one more breath. On your next inhale, send your right leg up toward the sky, 3-legged dog, the nice familiar hip circles that we make, right? Opening up, waking up the body, bend the knee. Take a moment here to really stack the hips. And then start to make the circles either with a bent leg or a straight leg or any combination of it, right? 3 times in one direction, nice and slow, nice and juicy. And then switch directions if you haven't yet. Feeling that right hip, taking it slow, using your breath. On your next inhale, send your right leg up toward the sky.
Take a moment here to come high on your left toes and micro bend your left knee. Feel your chest move back toward your thighs. You lift your right toes a little bit higher. Feel the lift coming from your core, so your foot's not kind of floating around up there. Your whole leg is active from the core all the way to your big toe. One more breath here. And then as you exhale, let the left heel fall back toward the mat as you roll into plank, hug your knee in towards your chest. And as you exhale, drop your right foot to the outside of your right hand here, coming into a low lizard lunge. Stay high on your fingertips here. Rock back and forth. Really feel the ball of that back foot, your left foot, pressing into the mat. Right, that's kind of like your fulcrum, like you're using that for your any kind of support or lift. Pull your heart forward here. One more breath. And then as you exhale, let your left knee come to the mat. Untuck your left toes. Bring your hands to just above your knee on your right leg here. Tuck your tail under. Press into your feet and your left knee. Good. So kind of lift your torso up. So we're not really sinking yet. We're kind of think about right angles with both of your legs here. Tuck your tailbone under. Really feel the stretch in the front of the left hip here. You press down, tuck under. Gaze can move up. Good, and then sweep your arms up toward the sky. Inhale here. And as you exhale, now drop your hips, bring your hands in the goalpost. Inhale, lift. Press into the right foot and the left knee to lift you up. Exhale, feel it drop. You should feel nice isolation, nice stretch in your left hip. Inhale, reach it up. Last time, drop your hips here. This time, bring your hands back to the inside of your right foot. Press your right leg straight here. Good. Heel is pressing into the mat as you pull your heart forward. We're coming into an early half split here. And then exhale, just fold down inside your right leg. Breathing out, maybe windshield wiper that right foot back and forth, feeling the outside of your hip, the inside of your hip. Nice and slow. One more breath here. As you inhale, bend back into your right knee, plant your palms, step it back to downward facing dog. Inhale, send that left leg up toward the sky, three-legged dog. Bend your knee, pause here as you stack your hips, and then start to make those nice big circles, right? Sometimes we skip these little things, like even in chaturanga, we tend to skip. To try to make each breath, each motion very intentional. Switch directions if you haven't already with your left leg in the circles. Next, inhale, send that left leg up toward the sky. Pause here, come high on those right toes. Good. Gently bend that right knee. Feel your left toes lift a little bit higher. Good, really stretch to the front of that left hip. And then as you exhale, roll forward into plank, hug it in for just a breath. And as you exhale, place your left foot to the outside of your left hand, coming into this low lizard lunge, rocking back and forth, pressing the ball of that right big toe really into the mat, using that to lift your leg up away from the mat as you pull your heart forward. One more breath here. As you exhale, let your right knee drop to the mat, untuck your right toes, walk your hands up to your left leg, just above your knee. Good, and then again, press into the left foot and the right knee to lift your torso so that you have room to tuck your tail. You're more upright here. Inhale here, just hold it, really feel that tuck as it opens up the right front hip. And then inhale, reach your arms up toward the sky. Keep pressing down to lift up. One more breath here. Good, and then let's go into those goddess arms. So as you drop your hips, pull your elbows down to goalposts. Inhale, press down to lift your hips and raise your arms. Exhale, pull it down. Inhale, take it up. Last time here, let it drop, hold it. And then hands come to the inside of your left foot. Straighten your left leg. Take an inhale here to lengthen your spine forward, square your hips back, and then fold it down. Breathing in here and breathing out, maybe moving your foot side to side, doing what feels good for you. One more breath here. Good, then inhale, bend back into your left knee, plant your palms, and we're gonna step into a yogi squat. So step your right foot to the outside of your right hand, good. So you're at the top of your mat in a yogi squat, good.
Take a moment here, get your feet in a good position, rocking side to side. Releasing through the hips, right? You have to almost consciously make yourself let go. It's hard not to crunch up in your hips. So try to breathe them down. Feel like your tailbone has like an anchor pulling you down as your heart stays lifted. Beautiful. Use your elbows to press your legs open a little bit more. And then either stay where you are or gently start to lift your right heel up off the mat as you continue to press your knees open. Good. Heart is lifted. Nice high right heel. Hold it for another breath. Exhale, place your right heel down. Inhale, switch sides. Lift your left heel up off the mat. Keep pressing that left knee back, right knee back. Hold it here. Exhale, let it go. Then come to center. Now try to lift both heels up off the mat. Really engage your core here for the balance. Find something steady to look at. Keep pressing your knees back. Good. Find evenness in that row of knuckles of where your toes meet your foot. One more breath. Whew. Exhale, drop your heels to the mat. Walk your hands out. Let your tailbone pull back and down, rounding your spine here. It can feel good to rock side to side here. Keep stretching, walking those fingers forward as your tail, you send your hips back and down. One more breath here. Then walk your hands back under your shoulders. Press into your feet and your hands to straighten your legs. Toe heel your feet, hips width distance apart. Have opposite elbows here and just sway side to side. Good. Even micro bend your knees here a little bit. Feel some space opening up in your lower back. Nice and heavy, letting gravity do its work. Beautiful. Noticing your feet in the mat, like really feel like they're making an imprint in your mat. Nice and strong. Then come back to center. If you don't have your elbows held, like clasp opposite elbows here so that your upper arms are by your ears. Bend into your knees here, press your feet into the mat. Keep your head framed in your arms and then roll yourself all the way up to stand. Keeping your elbows held, just take a little body stretch here, pressing them back as you lift your heart. One more breath. Inhale, release your fingers toward the sky. And exhale, arms come to your side, Tadasana. Close your eyes here, just take a few breaths, set an intention for your practice. You may already start to feel some opening or some tight spaces, right? Just use your breath. You'll get there. With your intention set for your practice today, you can just like be, sending your energy out to someone or somewhere that needs it. And we all know there are lots of places like that now. So just use this for good, right? Our hour will create lots of goodness for many hours. With your feet planted in the mat, toes and heels touching, let your eyes blink open, hands by your side, shoulders relaxed. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold it down, just starting with some early sun salutations. Inhale, lengthen to look forward. As you exhale, really plant your palms and then step or jump back, lowering down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Pull your heart through your shoulders. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Breathe. Nice length in the side body here. You can pedal it out for a few breaths and then try to find some stillness. Inhale. Exhale. One more round, deep breath in. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, rise up, reach up, palms press, shoulders down. Exhale, arms by your side, Tadasana. Again, inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold it down, keep your core engaged. Inhale here to lengthen. Exhale, step or jump back, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press the top of your feet into the mat, lift your legs away. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Good, you can bend your knees here a little bit. Almost try to make your lower back sway. It won't happen, but if you kind of work toward that, you'll feel your hips lift a little bit higher. Inhaling here. Exhale. Breathe it in.
Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, rise up, reach up, palms press. This time as you exhale, fold it right back down. Inhale here to lengthen. Exhale, step or jump back, lowering down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. Inhale. And exhale. In our downward facing dog here, let's just take a twist. Left hand comes to the outside of your right leg somewhere. Maybe your heel, maybe your shin, maybe just below your knee. And just use that to pull your chest toward the side as your gaze moves up under your right, above your right armpit. One more breath. Left hand comes back down, switch sides, right hand to the outside of your left leg. Keep your hips squaring back as you pull your heart toward the side of the room. Gaze moves up above your armpit. One more breath. Exhale, return yourself to downward facing dog. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, rise up, reach up, palms press. Exhale, arms by your side, Tadasana. Check that your toes and heels are touching here at the top of your mat here. As you inhale, bend your knees deeply, come into Utkatasana. Squeeze your legs into the midline. Your inner knee bones are pressing together. Tuck your tail and then lift your heart. Maybe your hands come together in prayer, maybe they're not ready. Good. If your arms are parallel, try that rotation again while we stay here for another 3 breaths. As you continue to drop your hips, but lift your heart. One more breath here. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, step or jump back, lowering down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. As you inhale, step your right foot forward, rise up to warrior one. Just for a breath here. Square those hips, press into that back foot. Exhale, hands come down, step back, lowering down to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left foot forward, rise up, warrior one. Press down to lift up, tuck that tail, lift your heart. Exhale, hands down, step back, lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. 3 breaths here, pause. Reset. Feel the changes happening. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale here. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, bend your knees deeply, squeeze into the midline as you rise up to Utkatasana. Exhale, fold it right back down, Uttanasana. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, step or jump back, lowering down. You can always skip and meet in downward facing dog. Inhale to up dog if you're doing the vinyasa. Exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward again, rise up to warrior one. Good, keep your hips squared as you take your hands behind your lower back. Tuck that tail under so we're not arching, right? Tuck your tail under, lift your heart, pull your knuckles down. And then fold it forward, kind of pour yourself to the inside of your right leg, coming into humble warrior. Breathing here, press into your feet, feel your right hip pull back and in. Good, pressing into your feet also to lift your hips, don't let them sink. Keep your legs nice and active here. Inhaling here. One more breath. Good. Release your hands. Walk yourself toward the back of your mat, coming to Skandasana at the back of the mat. So your left leg is bent. Your right leg is straight. Toes up toward the sky. Press your right heel into the mat. Good. This first round is yogi's choice. So you can take whatever variation you want. You can reach your hands forward. You can use your hands to open your legs. Bring your seat down. Do what feels good here. Breathing in. Good, but keep it active. One more breath. As you exhale, try to press into your feet. If you can, take yourself into Skandasana at the front with no hands. Try that. Some days it works and some days it doesn't. And then try to take the same version that you did on the other side for this round. Good. Using your hands to either open your legs or lengthen your spine if you're reaching forward. One more breath here. Release those hips. Good, as you inhale, walk yourself back into the low lunge here and then step back to lower down chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward, warrior one. Ground that back foot. Reach up through your fingertips here. Tuck your, especially your right tailbone, feel it tucking down. Taking the arch out of your back and just lifting your heart here. As you exhale, hands come behind your back. Interlace those fingers, lift your heart, and then take it down into humble warrior. Breathing. Feel your heel pressing into the mat, your left heel. And when you concentrate on that, you may feel like your tush lift up a little bit on the side, on that side, right? These little movements find so much engagement. One more breath here. Good. As you inhale, release your hands, come halfway up, take yourself to the back of the mat, come into Skandasana. Try something different this time. I'm going to give you an option here to drop your seat if you can. You can probably see me best because I'm not facing you, but you're keeping your right knee bent. You're going to take your left hand to your right ankle here, keep your right sit bone pulling down toward the mat. Reach your right arm toward the sky and take this nice twist. I mean side bend with a twist, right? So first you're looking toward the side of the room, and then you're going to use this pressure of your hand and your foot to pull your heart toward the sky. Good, find a nice side stretch here. Whew. One more breath. Inhale, come back up, release the ankle. Maybe bring your hands to prayer. Press into your feet and stay low, try to take it to the other side. Drop your hips if you did this version on this side, on the other side. Right hand comes to the left ankle. Reach your left arm up and then take it over. You may or may not reach your toes. You just want to find this nice side stretch here. Give this extra grounding while you're holding your ankle. One more breath here, nice and open. Release the bind if you have it. Walk your hands toward the top of the mat. Take a breath in low lunge. Step your left foot back to plank, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. 3 breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling, right? It's like a reset and a catching up, but it's still active. So keep those heels pulling down toward the mat. Keep your legs engaged here. Palms are pressing down into the mat. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, bend your knees deeply, rise up to Utkatasana. Exhale, come to stand, Uttanasana. Take an inhale here, drop your hips again, come to Utkatasana, awkward chair. Hands come to heart center. Let's take a twist to the right, hooking your left arm to the outside of your right leg. Hands can stay in prayer, stacking your elbows, or you can open up your legs to fly. Just keep using the pressure of your arm and your leg to pull your heart more open. Gaze can move up. One more breath. Inhale, stay low, rise up to Utkatasana. Exhale, take it to the other side. Good, keep those legs squeezing in. I know they're burning. Open your arms if you did on the other side. Good, really using your own body to open up, right? We don't have each other to assist in person. So use what you have. One more breath. Inhale, stay low, come back to center here. Utkatasana, one breath. Then hook your thumbs, straighten your legs, reach up, arch it back, let it go. As you exhale, bend your knees, swing your arms, clasp your hands, fold it down over straight legs. Just take a breath here. Good. Inhale, take it back to Utkatasana, bend your knees, lift your arms. Exhale, fold it down, Uttanasana. Inhale here to lengthen. Exhale, plant those palms, step or jump back, lowering down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot forward, rise up to warrior one. Exhale, open to warrior two, pause here. Beautiful. Check your legs. I've been trying to shorten my stance a little bit lately because I'm like so sometimes too open. If you're not using all your muscles, try to just make an adjustment, right? So make sure your knees right on top of your ankle, tuck your tail under, Pull your shoulders down away from your ears. Gaze over your front fingertips. One more breath. Flip and reverse your warrior. Keep pulling that knee forward as you reach away. And then as you exhale, come to stand. Straighten your front leg. Maybe shorten your stance a little bit, coming into triangle. Take an inhale here to reach forward. Feel your hip crease pulling back. And then reach your left arm toward the sky as you stack your hips. Good. Maybe actually bend your right knee for a moment here. See if you can find a little more openness in your hips when you do that. And then straighten that knee back out. Next breath, I want you to lift your right toes off the mat. Press into the ball of that right foot. Feel how that engages all the way up to your groin on your right leg. One more breath here. Good, staying low, reach your left arm overhead, reaching for the front of the room. Your arm is up by your ear. Heart is still open toward the side of the room. Reach a little bit further. Good, then press into your feet. Try to lift your right arm like you're holding a big beach ball here. Keep your heart open. One more breath. Inhale, press into your feet, come all the way to stand. Rotate your right toes toward the side of the mat, parallel to your left toes. Good, hands come to your hips. Bend your knees a little bit here as you start to lift your heart, tuck your tail, then straighten those legs out and fold it forward. Let your heart lead the way. Hands come down between your feet. Good, try to walk your fingertips back toward the level of your toes. If your head comes down, you can take this opportunity to go upside down. Or if you're just working on that and your head down, you can just come up on your toes a little bit. Feel the engagement of your legs and use your core for balance. Right? Pressing down to lift up always. One more breath wherever you are. If you're upside down, start to make your way back down. Inhaling here. Exhale. Inhale, come halfway up. Return your hands to your hips here. We're just going to take a breath here. So your feet are parallel. Your toes are facing the side of the mat. Bend into your knees here. Send your seat back. Your torso is parallel to the mat. Keep pulling your shoulders back. You can release your hands from your hips and pull them behind you, like interlace your hands to open your shoulders here. Good. Keep bending into those knees. And either keep your hands clasped behind you, or you can also reach them forward, parallel to your ears. Good. One more breath here. Don't let it go. Stay active. Good. Inhale, hands return to your hips as you lift back up. Woo. Right toes return facing forward. Come back to warrior two here. Flip and reverse your warrior. And then as you exhale, come into your version of extended side angle. So you can take a few breaths and modify it and then make your way down, or just stay where you are and feel the opening happen with each breath. Wherever you are, you're keeping that right foot like kind of evenly planted in the mat. Don't let it roll in or out. It's hard to do. Using your own body to help yourself open up a little bit more. Your arm against your leg, right? Pressing down or open to open it up a little more. One more breath here. Next, inhale, bring your left hand to your left hip. Walk your right fingertips out. Come into half moon pose. Just opening it up. Good, again, maybe bend into that right knee a little bit to open up. Press it open. One more breath here. Keep that top leg nice and active. And then as you exhale, left hand comes down. Take a moment here to pull your heart forward, you square your hips. And then exhale, walk it back to your standing split. Let your head drop as you pull your forehead down towards your shin or your knee. Use your core to lift your left leg a little bit higher. And then as you exhale, float that left leg to the back of the mat, coming into a low lunge. And then right foot steps back to downward facing dog. We'll pause here. You're welcome to take a vinyasa. 3 breaths before we move to the other side. Inhaling and exhaling. One more round of breath, catch everybody up. Exhale. Next inhale, left foot steps forward, rise up to warrior one. Square those hips here. And then exhale, open up to the side of the room, shoulders and hips to the side. Gazes are forward, pull those shoulders down. Try not to sway your lower back, so tuck that tail under. Keep your left knee moving to the outside. One more breath here. Next inhale, take it into reverse warrior. You're really not moving your legs, you're just moving your torso here. Keep your legs low. Keep that front knee deeply bent and pulling forward as you reach away. One more breath. Inhale, come back to center as you straighten your left leg. Walk your back foot in as much as you need to be stable. Arms out to the side. And then take a breath to reach forward. Exhale, take it down into triangle pose. Breathing here. Noticing your feet, right? Take that micro bend in your left knee now. Feel that extra space for your hips as you open up a little bit more. Straighten back out. Then lift your toes up off the mat. Feel the engagement up the inseam of your yoga pants. One more breath. Good, and staying lower, reach that right hand over your right ear toward the front of the room. Keep your heart opening toward the side, right? Not dropping down, lifting up. Maybe take your left hand to hold that beach ball. Keep your torso facing the side of the room. Inhale, come all the way up. Take your left toes now to face the side of the mat. Interlace your fingers here. Tuck your tail. Pull your knuckles down to lift your heart. And then letting that heart lead the way as you fold yourself down. Good, letting the head come down toward the mat. Crown of your head is pulling you down. Before you take your arms over, I want you to clasp your fingers, your palms tightly, and then lift them up toward the sky. Feel your shoulders lift away. Good, and then with that space, take them over. They may not come quite as far, but you're making more space in your shoulders when you do that instead of crunching them up. So keep the idea of lifting your shoulders away from your ears as you take your hands up overhead. Inhaling and exhaling. One more breath here. As you inhale, press into your feet, come all the way back up to stand. Rotate your left toes back toward the front of the mat, returning to warrior two. Reverse your warrior, find that space in the side body, and then exhale, take yourself into your extended side angle. Good, wherever you are, commit to it. Pressing into the feet, opening the hips toward the side of the room. Good, keep lifting like the bottom part of your left thigh up toward the sky, not letting it sink down. One more breath here, opening up, reaching forward. And then right hand comes to your right hip as you walk your left fingertips out in front of you, a little to the side here, so they're under your shoulder, and make your way into your half moon pose. Good. Maybe take that micro bend to find some more space. And then really feel like you're pressing your right foot and you're making a hole in the wall, imaginary wall behind you. Keep it nice and active. Gaze can move up. One more breath. As you exhale, hands come down. Square your hips as you pull your heart forward. And then exhale, take it back into your standing leg split. Feeling your left foot pressing down, that's your foundation here. Good. Let your head go. Lift those right toes a little bit higher. One more breath, breathe in, fold a little deeper. And as you exhale, extend that right foot to the back of the mat, plant your palms. Either step back to downward facing dog or take your vinyasa, and we'll meet in a child's pose. That's a long standing sequence. And when you get there, just let your hips sink down for a few moments. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. If you're in, you should all be in child's pose. Walk your hands out in front of you. Press your forearms into the mat and take yourself into a forearm plank here. So it might take a few kind of like adjustments to get there. You want to feel your shoulders right on top of your elbows. Arms are parallel, the forearms are parallel. Tuck your tail under. Good, and your heels are nice and high. Pull your belly away from the mat. Hold it here, squeeze into the midline. Good, then either stay here or lift your right knee off the mat and kind of rotate it to try to tap your knee to your right upper arm. And then place it back. And then left knee to left arm. Take it back 2 more times to each side. And I'm opening up that hip rotation, the inner hip. And it's good core work. One more time to each side. Come back to center, let your hips drop to the mat. Come into Sphinx pose. You may have to walk your hands out a little bit. Press your forearms into the mat and just pull your heart forward. It's very subtle, but very powerful. Good. Pressing your torso down into the mat as you pull your heart forward. Pulling your elbows back. One more breath here. As you exhale, release yourself down onto the mat. Just take a moment here, shake your hips out, feel nice and centered. Then you're going to send your right arm out to the side, directly coming out from the shoulder. Press into your left hand and then start to roll to the right. Good. Oh, sorry, my hair's all cut. Taking your left arm up and then back behind you. Letting your head relax. If it's uncomfortable for your neck, you can always put like a towel or a block under it if it's too much for your head to hang. Thinking about joining your hands overhead, behind you, right? The backs of your hands, they may not make it, but really think about spreading your collarbone in this, right? Pressing down through the right side to open up. It's a nice heart opener here. You can bend your left knee for support, or even bring it into a figure four if you want a little hip stretch here. Like a double whammy. Really let gravity take over and breathe into it. One more breath. Woo. Beautiful. Roll back to center. Extend your left arm out to the side. Roll to the left. Good. Bend your right knee if it helps you with balance. And then really take it nice and slow. Open up the collarbone here as you send your right arm behind you toward the left. Let your head relax. Then let your left shoulder sink into that in the mat. Maybe take that figure four with your right leg bent. One more breath here. Beautiful. Roll back to center. Woo. Bring your hands out off the mat here at intense, like at your rib level, and then press into your fingertips, trying to do this nice open cobra pose here. Just opening up your heart, pulling your shoulders back and down, lifting your heart. And as you exhale, melt back toward the mat, bring your hands back in, palms pressed down, push it back to downward facing dog. Breathing in. Next, inhale, take your right leg up toward the sky, three-legged dog, stretch it out. As you inhale, bring your right knee behind your right wrist. We're gonna come into pigeon pose. I know I haven't taught this one in a while. I've taken it, but I haven't taught it. Go ahead. So take a moment here in pigeon, bring your shin as parallel to the top of the mat as is comfortable for your knee, and so that you can also stay nice and stable. Bring your hands back by your hips here for a moment. Press down to lift your heart, make lots of space in the front body to fold, and then letting your heart lead the way. Start to fold down over your right shin, right? Not your right knee, you're folding over the shin. Take a moment to focus on your back foot. Think about it not kind of torquing out. Think about your heel being right on top, right? So not swaying to the side. We always forget about that back foot. It's important though for our foundations. Beautiful here. Just let your body sink. Let your body weight open up your right hip. Breathing here. Inhaling. Exhaling. Walk your torso back up. You may need to adjust your leg a little bit. We're going to bend into the left knee, take a thigh stretch here. So lots of versions. You want to bring your, well, let's first open our shoulders. So actually grab on the inside of your foot and then kick your foot back. Feel your left shoulder opening up here. You can turn your heart toward the side. Your thigh is sinking down as you open up. Good, and then start to pull the heel in towards your seat. Maybe rotating your fingers to the bottom of your foot here as you turn your torso forward, squaring forward. Keep pressing down into the legs to lift up, so your seat is probably not down here. Beautiful, lots of versions you can take, mermaid or double pigeon, wherever you are today. Keep pressing down, keep your core engaged here. Nice and open, one more breath. Good, then release your grip, release your hips, swing your right leg around, coming into a seated spinal twist. You can keep your right leg bent or straight. Take your left hand behind you. Nice open shoulder when you do that. Reach your right arm toward the sky as you ground down through your left sit bone, and then take the twist. Every inhale, lengthen a little taller, and then every exhale, twist a little bit further without sacrificing your foundation. So your sit bones are still pressing down. These twists come mostly from our ribs and up. Your hips are staying more square. One more breath here. Whew. As you exhale, take a counter twist to the right. Beautiful. And then before we switch sides, let's come into double pigeon. So our right leg is on the bottom here, our left leg is on top. Both shins are parallel to the top of the mat, and you're going to try and create like a diamond. I mean, a triangle, sorry, with your legs here. Don't like I need a geometry lesson. Good. Feet are flexed to protect your knee. If your knee is way up, you can put something there to support it. Otherwise, let's take our hands behind us and then press down with your left knee here and press down through your hands to lift your heart. This might be enough. This is a nice opening here. Either stay here, pressing those knees down, or start to walk your hands forward as you fold down over your shins. Releasing down, really letting your body weight, just try to pull your hips open a little bit more by pressing down on those shins. You can even use your own hands to press down if it helps. Breathing into it. Exhale. One more breath here. Good. As you inhale, come back up to seated. I'm going to challenge you. You may not be in your practice today. Lean to the right. Try to swing your left leg behind you, coming back toward pigeon for just a moment, using your core, and then plant your hands down and just step it back to downward facing dog. Right, different ways to use our core for stability here. Good. From your down dog, lift that left leg up toward the sky. And then as you exhale, make your way into pigeon. Left knee behind your left wrist. And your hips may be different, right? And this is when you see it, when you're down on the ground. Get yourself set up. Before you fold, walk your hands back. Press into your legs, so maybe even lift your seat up off the mat, opening up here. And then exhale, start to walk it forward. Coming into pigeon. Keep your spine nice and long, and then let your head go. If it's super easy, try to shift that shin a little bit more parallel. And then don't forget about that back foot again. Take a moment, think about your heel being nice and even, not splaying out to either side. Inhale here. Exhale. One more breath. Inhaling, lifting back up here. Maybe adjusting your front leg if you need to. Squaring your hips. Good. Bending your right leg, reaching back for the inside of that foot. And then before we take the thigh stretch, we're going to open our shoulders and kick that right leg back. Your heart's going to turn toward the side of the room. Feel your right shoulder opening. And then start to bend into the knee as you pull your heel closer to your seat. Squaring your hips and your shoulders forward. Pressing down to lift your seat up off the mat and then lifting your gaze if you have the balance. Good. Feeling the opening in that right thigh. One more breath. Whew. Release the bind. And again, maybe with no hands, lean into that left hip as you swing your right leg around, setting yourself up for seated spinal twist. This time your right hand comes behind you. Think about that right shoulder open. Left arm reaches up as you ground down through your right sit bone, and then take the twist. Whew. Using your breath here. Every breath is a tool, right? Opening up. Inhaling and exhaling. One more round of breath here. Take a deep inhale, twist a little bit further. As you exhale, take it to the other side. Whew. Counter rotate. And then we'll take double pigeon on this side. So this time your left shin's on the bottom, right shin is on top. Good. And again, you may see big differences here. When we're sitting down, we don't have as much room to kind of cheat around things. So you always see the differences in your hips when you're seated. Good. Take a moment here. Bring your hands behind you. Really press that right knee down. Press your sit bones down as you lift your heart. And then either stay here and breathe it out, or start to walk your hands forward. Folding forward. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more breath here. Let the gravity pull your torso down. As you inhale, walk your hands back up. Release your legs. Staying seated, let's open up into our nice wide straddle. Rachel's favorite pose. Good. And again, feel your legs pressing down into the mat. Maybe tipping a little bit forward on your sit bones. Take your hands behind you. Press down to lift your heart. Beautiful. Either stay here, this feels amazing, or start to bring your hands forward as you walk yourself forward, keeping your legs active as you fold down either to your forearms, you may be on your palms, your whole torso may be down. Wherever you are, maybe point your feet, flex them, bend your knees a little bit, straighten them. Just play around here. It's like free time here. Just see what feels good. Inhaling and exhaling. One more breath. Inhale, walk it back up to seated. Take your hands behind your thighs. Gather the soles of your feet together to Baddha Konasana. Again, hands behind you. Use that to get yourself stable and tall. And either stay here, pressing down to lift up, or take your elbows to your inner thighs and fold yourself forward. Nice long spine. Breathe in here. Inhale and exhale. Next inhale, come all the way back up. We're just going to take a quick camel pose because we worked on that last week. Thinking about it, not so much as a back bend, but as a heart opener. So this is a good one to do before we come into our shoulder stands and kind of finish up practice. So come to stand on your knees. Take a moment here, really feel your legs nice and strong. So your thighs are parallel. Feel like before we do anything, like you're squeezing a block between your thighs. So really pull into the midline here. Feel your tail tug down when you do that. And then bring your hands to your waist and press your waist down. Find some length in your front body here without splaying your ribs out, right? Keep them tucked in. Good. And then just feel like your heart is lifting. Tuck your tail down. Just lift your heart. Very small movement. You're pressing down, squeezing in, lifting up, lengthening all the way from the belly button to your sternum. Good. One more breath here. And then exhale, just come to seated for a moment. I know I always say this, I find it fascinating how these tiny but very engaged movements are really hard and really exhausting. Good, but they get into these little places that we need the work and the strength. All right, one more time. So you can either repeat what we just did, or if you want to take it back a little bit further, you can feel free to reach back for your heels with either tucked toes or flat feet. Most important is that you have this nice strong torso. So take a moment, squeeze into the midline, tuck that tail. Hands to your hips. This kind of just gets you that sensation of grounding as you press your hips down. Lift your heart. The string is pulling your heart toward the sky. Feel your abs stretching here. And either stay here, or maybe even if you're staying here, just bring your hands down. Feel your heart open up as your shoulders spread side to side. Or you can take it back and reach for your heels here, keeping your thighs as parallel, as perpendicular as you can. Reaching up, right? Heart opener, not back bend. Think of it that way. One more breath. Inhale, just come back up. Take a seat just for a moment here. Beautiful. Then let your hips fall to one side. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Bring them together, nice and tall. Maybe move your sit bones back a little bit so you're kind of tipped forward. As you inhale, reach for the sky as you ground down. And then exhale, fold it forward. Keep your heart pulling forward for as long as you can. And then let your hands go, let your neck go, and just fold it down. Legs are staying active, maybe, again, squeezing, maybe not a block here, but maybe like a little golf ball or something. Squeezing between your upper thighs, keeping them active. One more breath here. Good, then staying low, release your fingertips, round your spine, pull your navel towards your spine here so you're hollowed out, and then slowly just make your way all the way down to your back. Good. Setting yourself up for one inversion. So your yogi's choice, we typically suggest shoulder stand here. Anything that will get your feet up above your heart. So it could be headstand if you're working on pincha mayurasana, forearm stand, or handstand, or even waterfall, right? Keeping your back down, just lifting your legs. Starting to slow the breath down, reverse the blood flow here. If we're in shoulder stand, try to shimmy your shoulders in a little bit closer as you lift your legs a little bit higher. Keep tucking that tail up towards your heels, even though you're upside down. Keep squeezing your legs into the midline. One more breath here. And then as you exhale, let your toes fall behind you, coming into plow pose. Releasing your hands if your toes touch the mat. Good, breathing life into space into your lower back. Feels so good. And then either stay here, bend your knees to either side of your head, giving your ears a little squeeze, Pranayama. You can use your hands on your abs to press it down a little bit more. Breathing it out. And then release your hands down the mat, straighten your legs. And again, very slowly, feeling each vertebra press into the mat. Take yourself all the way back down onto your back. Pointing your toes here, feeling them make a giant rainbow as they reach first for the wall in front of you or whatever's in front of you, and then toward the ground. Nice long front body here, long legs here, especially in the hip flexors, find that length. Good. Walk your can't talk today. Elbows in towards your hips here. Take a moment here to open your heart as you press down. You may find some more space to move your elbows further down. And then drop your head into fish pose here. Taking 3 rounds of breath, just letting it all go. Opening this heart one last time before we come into Shavasana. One more round of breath here. Breathe it in. And then as you exhale it out, tuck your chin. Release yourself down onto the mat. Making your way into Shavasana or taking any final poses that you may need to complete your practice that will allow you to be in Shavasana, right? Which is sometimes super hard to just be still. Try to clear your mind. Let your breath guide you and just be for a few moments. Slowly start to reawaken your body and your breath. Deepening your inhales and your exhales. Wiggle your fingers and toes, your ankles and your wrists. Gently sway your head side to side, dropping your chin to either shoulder. And then with a deep breath in, reach your arms up overhead, taking a full body stretch. Pointing your toes in the opposite direction. And as you exhale, gather your knees in towards your chest, pausing there, giving yourself a hug. And with your eyelids remaining heavy, rolling through either side, returning yourself to your seated position. Feeling your sit bones grounding down. Noticing the crown of your head, reaching for the sky. And one more time, like I always like to do, just shrug your shoulders up by your ears, roll them back. Open your heart as your shoulders pull down your spine. Taking a moment to appreciate all this extra space we've made in our hearts and our minds and our bodies.
kind of promising ourselves to carry this with us as we move through our day and sharing it with others. We'll close class together with Loka Samasta. Breathing in with a nice tall spine, open heart. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your hands together at heart center. Gently bow your chin in towards your chest, taking this moment to thank yourself, honor yourself, and celebrate yourself, knowing that everything that you need, all the wisdom and all the love lie right within you. Bring your hands to prayer, your third eye, sealing in this practice and this energy. We bow forward together. Namaste.